Welcome to the Power Talk after Kansas State's 29-27 act of survival against Kansas. We discussed a lot leading up to this, how this was a team that seemed to have found itself in Kansas, and it was a bad, to me, it was a bad matchup for Kansas, but they were the better team at the line of scrimmage throughout this game. That's what made this game close, is they ran the ball when they needed to. And K-State might have ended up with more yardage, but I think we can agree that in some key situations, Kansas stopped the run. And they never let K-State settle into an offensive rhythm. And we saw that happen. But K-State found a way to win, and special teams was a big reason why. It always is. And in this case, it was a kickoff return that the KU returner caught and stepped out at the one, leading to a 2-point safety, and K-State wins by 2. And on top of that, KU missed an extra point. So they lost 3 points basically out of special teams, and they lost by 2. So this one's going to stick with KU, and it should. Just like last year, they played well enough to win. But at the end of the day, they made some turnovers. And, Jalen Daniels has done that this year, and he did it again with a fumble that set K-State up for the winning field goal. It wasn't a very satisfying win for K-State fans, but and parents, you might want to mute this for this little analogy. But a wise man once told me, or asked me, what do you call bad sex? Sex. And that's the way this football game was. It came to a conclusion that was satisfying, but everything leading up to it didn't feel like it was going the right way. Wasn't exactly efficient and enjoyable. But K-State wins, and that's really all that counts now as they get ready to go to Houston, a team that just won 2. I don't know how much confidence they gained from beating Utah, but they did. And so K-State goes down there, has an off week, 2 home games, goes to Iowa State. And really in this conference now, it's about just winning every opportunity you can. You just got to find ways to win games. And K-State managed that. And it wasn't aesthetically pleasing in any way. K-State's defense struggled at times. But finally, by game's end, they kind of settled in to more of an attack mode. And as Coach Klieman told me after the game, they brought everyone they could and left everyone else in man coverage. It seemed to work because the man coverage kept Daniels occupied long enough that he couldn't find an open receiver in the short time he had to throw the ball. It was a great sign of pressure from K-State defense that honestly didn't get much pressure. And you can look at reasons why. I mean, some of the K-State defensive linemen got held more in this game than they've ever been held by their mother. I mean, it was obnoxious at times, but that's the way the game was called, and you got to survive that. But if you notice, KU was called for 1 holding. It set them back at a key time when it looked like they were going to get a first down. And that really kind of changed the game in a way. But at the end of the day, good teams find ways to win games. I don't think K-State was great. I don't even know if K-State was good in this game. But overall, they're a good team, and they're a confident team. And I think, as Coach Klieman said in the past, I think this was a culture win. They expected to win. They knew they were going to find a way to win. And as I told one of my colleagues in here, it kind of felt like an old K-State-Nebraska game. That K-State played well enough, and then they didn't win. Played well enough, didn't win. So is KU's 1998 coming? I don't know. They lose a lot of talent off this team, including Jalen Daniels, who has the curious distinction of losing 3 rivalry games in Manhattan, which is kind of hard to do when you play there every other year, but he accomplished it. Starting quarterback for 3 losses or played quarterback in 3 losses. It's incredible because he's a great football player. I love his game. And his one downfall this season is trying to do a little bit too much. But his final fumble in the game, he's just trying to pick up a first down. And I think his thought was, I don't have it. We're going to fumble it. Hopefully someone can pick it up and advance it. But it didn't work out. K-State escapes with this win. They keep chugging along. Now 4-1 in the conference, keeping pace with the top 2 teams that are finding ways to win. and all they can do now is win. Just keep winning. Find ways to win. And if you do that 4 more times, you're going to be in Arlington for the Big 12 championship. That's it for this Power Talk. It was a strange game, a difficult game to watch. It wasn't, as I said, an aesthetically pleasing game. But on a final note, Chris Klieman had some health issues in the game. Apparently blood pressure related. He said he was getting dizzy, so I assume that's blood pressure. Maybe it's dietary. I don't know. You know those things that the players wear, basically looks like a sports bra that monitors all their vitals and tracks speed and all that. I think coach should wear one for the next game so they can monitor his blood pressure and all that, see what's going on. But also, I think it'll finally answer the question. If he has to call a timeout and he has to sprint down the sideline, how fast is Chris Klieman moving? I think it's about 35 miles an hour. I might be overestimating that. But I also just covered a K-State win. I don't know what those two things have to do with each other. I was supposed to come to an ending here, and I failed. Cats win.